3, 2, 1, para. Similarly, we need to correct the paucity of online courses in native languages. I am glad that there are many efforts in this regard. Recently, I witnessed a presentation on an AICTE tool which translates English content online into 11 Indian languages. Private players in the educational technology sector must also strive for offering content in more regional languages while ensuring affordability. Online education should not remain the privilege of the few, but rather become the ultimate tool for real democratization of education in India. I am happy to note that colleagues and universities in India have started to offer technical education in regional languages too. The recent decision of 14 engineering colleges across 8 states to offer courses in regional languages is a significant moment for education in mother tongue in India. Para. Higher education can also be a great economic catalyst for our country. There are many positive externalities for the local community, for development in the region, and benefits for the macroeconomy. The top global universities, for instance, attract international talent every year and have been thriving as centers of excellence, delivering economic benefits to the host nation. I am told that despite the pandemic, they have attracted a record number of international students this year. Para. For these reasons, we have to push more for internationalization of Indian universities. Our higher educational institutions must work on improving international diversity, both in faculty and students, and collaborate more proactively with reputed global universities. We must encourage Indian universities to open global campuses, which will also improve the brand value of Indian education. All these initiatives will generate enormous job opportunities, increase access to education in our country, and act as growth accelerators for our economy. Para. India was known as Vishwaguru. We had great institutions like Nalanda, Takshashila, and Pushpagiri, where students from all corners of the world came to learn. We must regain that intellectual leadership and emerge as a global hub of learning and innovation again. I am happy that the National Education Policy acknowledges the importance of global outreach, and the NIRF ranking framework too gives weightage to the internationalization component of a university to evaluate it. I hope Central University, Anantapuramu, will also strive and make efforts in this direction and earn an international reputation in the coming years. Para. Lastly, but perhaps most importantly, I would like to remind that the most important task of our educational institutions is to bring out well-rounded and compassionate human beings and not mere degree holders. We must seek to bring out the best in each individual with a strong foundation in moral values. Like I often say, education without values is no education at all. I am confident that Central University, Anantapuramu, will excel in shaping up brilliant minds and well-rounded personalities in the years to come. I am happy to know that the young university, which began with 4 undergraduate and 2 postgraduate programs, introduced 5 more programs, including MTech in Artificial Intelligence and Data Science in the academic year 2021-22, and plans to add 4 or 5 academic programs every year, para. I am told that this university has adopted 6 villages under the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. This is a welcome initiative. Educational institutions must try to engage with the local community and bring transformational change in people's lives, leveraging their area of expertise. Students must take an active participation in such endeavors. Finally, I would like to congratulate Vice Chancellor and the entire fraternity of the university for laying a strong foundation for this temple of learning and appreciate their efforts to make the young institution a center of excellence. Para. In this court's opinion, such a categorical expression about a pari materia norm was decisive enough for the court to have found itself compelled to follow. Yet, the impugned judgment with respect characterized the expression in S.K. Rath as obiter. The division bench in this court's view erred on this score, para. The issue appears to have lingered, and different benches of the Allahabad High Court, in view of the differences in phraseology of rules and statutes of various institutions, seem to have expressed divergent views in the state of Uttar Pradesh. Ultimately, this led to a reference which was answered by a full bench, authored by Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, by the judgment reported as State of UP versus Ramesh Chandra Tiwari, para. Primary schools are governed by the provisions of the Uttar Pradesh Basic Education Act 1972, and the service conditions of the teachers are governed by the rules framed under the Act. Rule 29 lays down into bracket I the age of superannuation, which is 62 years semicolon into brackets 2. The principle that a teacher who attains the age of 62 years will retire from service on the last day of the month in which the age of superannuation is attained, semicolon, and into bracket 3, the principle that a teacher who has retired during an academic session shall continue to work till the end of the academic session, and that such period of service will be deemed to be an extended period of employment. Para. The proviso to Rule 29 enacts a legal fiction through the subordinate legislation, the effect of which is that though a teacher has attained the age of superannuation, the teacher, notwithstanding the fact that he or she had retired during the academic session, will continue to work until the end of the academic session, and that such a period of service will be deemed to be an extended period of employment. Para. Rule 29 refers to the academic session as being 1 July to 30th June, since this was the academic session which prevailed right until academic session 2013-14. The reason why a special provision is made in the proviso to Rule 29 is to ensure that the educational needs of students are not disrupted by the retirement of a teacher in the midst of an academic session. In other words, the benefit is extended not so much for teachers, though the teachers would obviously also receive the benefit of an extended period of employment, but primarily to protect the students whose education would be disturbed by the absence of a teacher for the academic session. Para. The above analysis would show that the view of the Uttarakhand High Court, as also the Allahabad High Court into brackets, now settled by the full bench division, constantly have been that teachers superannuating are to be treated as re-employed or allowed to continue in the larger interest of the pupils has prevailed. If the view that found acceptance with the impugned judgment were to prevail, there would be avoidable disruption in teaching, the likely delay in filling vacancies caused mid-session cannot but be to the detriment of the students.